That's some cool stuff. Hey everybody, how's it going? I've got another music video reaction / review coming at you today, and this one is for Destiny by Lovelyz. And I haven't reviewed any of their music before because either the songs came out at like a really bad time when I was really busy, or the stuff I've heard in the past was not really a style that I was interested in. But I know a lot of people like them, and I do try to review most major releases that are relevant in the industry, whether I like the type of music it is or not. So I decided to check this one out, so let's jump right in and see how it sounds. Here we go. Oh, this is cool. Okay, this is cool. It's got that like circular motion chord progression that's really cool. I like this. This is interesting. This is very different sounding than every other song I've ever heard by them. This backing track is so heavy and their vocals are just so like light. It's an interesting contrast. Really cool dissonances going on in that chord progression. I love this interlude here. This has so much chord movement, you know. I love hearing songs where it's not just stagnant. They're really going somewhere with it. This is cool. Some of the rhythms in here, it's obviously a little simpler, but it's reminding me of Dirty Loops. And kind of the tonal palette overall that they're using. That's some cool stuff. I love that synth tone. That's kind of similar to stuff I actually use a lot. There's so much like drama in the movement of this song and the chord progressions. You know, it's creating a lot of like emotional energy and movement. It's pretty cool. That was cool. This whole thing is just really cool. There's a lot of interesting stuff in it musically. Really interesting, and not at all what I would expect from this group given like their previous releases that I've heard. And I probably haven't heard all of their releases, but I've heard quite a few of them. Very different kind of music than this. The other thing that this is really reminding me of, and I like it, is Wang Chung and like dance hall days. That transition has a similar sounding production and style, and I really like that. I also really like that downward cascading chord progression where it's like walking down in fourths, where it does like a fourth interval, then it moves down, it does another fourth interval, moves down again, does another fourth interval, and it's kind of like a circular motion thing. It almost feels like you're going through the circle of fourths or circle of fifths, backwards or forwards, with the chord progression. Obviously it's not exactly that, but it gives that sort of circular feeling where you feel like it's definitely going somewhere, like the progression is going to come back around at some point. And that kind of thing is generally very satisfying to the ear. But while they were using that, they also threw in some kind of unpredictable chords in the middle there as part of their progression, and used other dissonances that made it really, really interesting and kind of jazz fusion-y a little bit in a lot of ways. And like I've said before, I've heard some of their music in the past and it just wasn't that exciting to me personally. This song is actually very exciting, very engaging. I like it a lot. And if they have any other songs that are similar to this, probably like hidden album tracks that I've just never heard, definitely leave those in the comments section and I'll check them out. So let's analyze this one. Here we go. You know, they've got that like 70s disco, super dramatic string thing going on, which is cool. But the rest of the aesthetic is not really 70s. There's a little bit of that like disco thing going on, but this one definitely feels a lot more 80s to me. And also, you know, it is more modern too. It has a lot of kind of newer sounds. It's not really like a period piece from the 80s or 70s or anything else. It's just heavily influenced and sort of reimagined, coming from those influences. Love that little hesitated beat there. That's really cool. That's kind of dirty loopsy. A lot of other fusion groups do stuff like that too, but I always like hearing it in pop music and pulled off so well. You know, it just adds like an extra layer of complexity. I really like, you know, well thought out, well-crafted, complex music that's still really musical and catchy. If it's just really technical to be technical, yeah, I enjoy some of that stuff, but I'd much rather people have figured out a way to make it complex and technical to serve the overall feeling of the song and enhance it. I think this is a great example of that. There's a lot going on musically, you know, music theory, production-wise in this song, with a very sort of fast-moving chord progression that's going around all over the place. And of course the production too, it sounds really huge. It has kind of a round sound to it. It's not like abrasive, it's not so punchy that it like hits you in the face, but it's still very nice sounding. It's like the perfect balance of being a little bit smooth, really round, but still punchy enough to get your attention and be intense. The vocals are pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of this style. It's a little more of that. It sounds a little more like J-pop actually, where they purposefully sing with a little less character in their voice a lot of times. You know, they flatten it out and sing like everything really sort of straight. It's just a stylistic thing. This group seems to do that a little bit more. And I don't mind it. It's just kind of a style that's not my favorite thing in the world. Just the way it's produced too, you know, it sounds a little bit more like you hear in an anime or in J-pop. That kind of vocal production and vocal singing style. It's just a little bit more along those lines to me. And then you can hear a little bit more like character. They're doing a little more vibrato and they're not singing things, you know, so like leveled out in the chorus, which I like to hear. But it does seem like they're holding back with their vocals a little bit. I think they could definitely do more than this, like what they're showing us. Just that chord texture at the end. All really, really well-crafted stuff. This is actually one of my favorite songs so far from this year, and I've never had like a favorite song from this group before, so it's really cool to see them doing something a little bit different and being able to discover a group that I haven't really listened to that much in the past. And yeah, this is really top-notch stuff all around, and obviously like the vocal stuff I was talking about at the end of that analysis, that's not a negative on them at all. It's a stylistic choice thing. You know, if you listen to J-pop, if you listen to music that's in anime, it will sound very different besides the language. Just take the language out of the equation. just the singing style, just the musical style, it sounds different than a lot of K-pop usually. There are different things that they go for in that style of music, and just their vocal delivery and stylistic approach to how they're singing the song sounds to me more like what I would generally hear from Japan. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So thanks so much for watching this music video reaction/review. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you could share this video all over the place, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, forums, all that stuff really helps me out, and I'll see you guys next time.